Welcome back to the crypt. As you guys know, I've been dealing with health problems and whatnot, so that has continued this month. I did recently, like last week, I had 3 days without pain in a row, which has been fantastic. That's been the most amount of time I haven't been in pain in a long time. Haven't been able to repeat that, but I'm happy that I had it, even if it was short-lived. Some really cool stuff happened this month, but it was mostly private, so stuff I can't share. I will say one thing I can share. Last weekend I did get to go to an aquarium with some friends of mine, and that was really fun. It's an aquarium that specializes in deep sea research here in Japan, so it makes me very excited because that's my thing that I really, really love a lot. So that was really fun and great. But other than that, it's been a little tough. Like, you know, I haven't gotten a lot of writing done. Mostly I've been doing research and also a lot of reflection on like how I want to proceed with some of my stuff, because I've realized that I have an unholy amount of short stories that are complete and should be being sent out to publications, and I'm not. Mostly because it's the legalities. I hate the paperwork and I hate the research. It's really boring and dry. The business side of writing is something I absolutely hate. And I'm trying not to hate it, but it's hard because it's not my thing. I don't enjoy it. I also have a deep-seated fear of being scammed. And I think that fear is somewhat valid because when I first started writing back when I was in my teens, I signed up for some writing magazines, and somehow one of them leaked my address to a bunch of advertisers. And at 16 years old, I was getting advertisements from scam publishing. They would be charging you hundreds of dollars to start the process, which should not be a thing. Those early experiences really tainted how I see publishing industry as a whole. And there are legitimately, sadly, still a lot of scammers out there. You do have to be careful. And when submitting to literary journals, you should always be very weary of a lot of the legalities of what you sign to submit your work to them. And as such, most of the places I've submitted to have been through my university, which I graduated about a decade ago, a little over that now. I'm getting old. So a lot of those publications, they don't really suit the vibe of the kind of writing I do anymore, and they really never did. I haven't really been published in any because they're not the right kind for the style of writing I do. I do slightly creepy sci-fi and fantasy stuff, and that doesn't really suit a lot of the publications I have submitted to thus far. But branching outside of university approved stuff is really scary to me. But there comes a point where it's like, yes, it is easier for me to sit down and write another short story, and it's more fun, but I really do need to start working on getting this stuff out. So, and also, I came to the realization this month when doing my reflections on all of my fears and why I'm fearing it, and, you know, doing all of that unloading, I realized that, like, what's the big deal? If I submit to a place that is a scam and they just take my art and never give me credit, so what? Like, it hurts for sure because that was my work, but at the same time, like, I write short stories like I breathe air. I can write a short story. I can sit down and knock out a short story in 3 hours. I mean, I'll need to edit it and stuff, so it takes more than just 3 hours grand total, but it's not nearly as bad as if I were to get a whole, like, novel stolen. Like, that's a bigger deal because that's a huge chunk of time and effort, right? But my short stories, I can crank out short stories in a weekend. Like, that's something, even the edits, if I work hard at it. And then it's just like a matter of getting a peer review. But for a short story, it's easier to get peer reviews because it's a short story. It's fast, it's quick, it's easy to read. Yeah, so I've kind of realized that I really shouldn't be holding myself back. I should be submitting more. That doesn't mean I shouldn't do research into the publications I'm submitting to. Of course, I still need to do some level of research, but I don't need to kill myself trying to find every nook and cranny of the company. Like, there comes a point where I just have to start taking risks and putting my work out there. And that's something that I started working on this month, and I will be working on going into next month as well, as submitting stuff to publications and whatnot in terms of short story, not my longer form stuff. About it, I don't know What else? I do have a series that's launching next month that I'm excited about, that I've been wanting to do for a year now, so I'm excited about that. So if you're interested in what that might be, it does have to do with critique and feedback, so if that interests you, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below and the bell notification so you're notified as soon as that video goes live next month. And yeah, that's everything. That's everything pretty much, I think. It's a lot of research this month, and it's boring and dry and not exciting to talk about right now. I don't have any firm conclusions for you guys other than I need to stop being scared of stuff, which I'm not sure how useful that conclusion is for anyone else other than me. Anyway, if you're interested in bullet journaling, that's coming up next. The theme looks eerily similar to last month, except I switched crystals for moths. I don't know, you guys. I'm busy. I've got a lot on my brain, so I didn't think too hard about it. I just made it real quick. But there's a little bit of a change, and that's not in here because I'm almost out of pages. I didn't realize how few I had left. So I am short a month, so I went ahead and put it in my commonplace, which is a grayscale. It's gray paper, so it's kind of interesting looking. But yeah, I want to start my new journal in spring, so I want to get through February first before I start the new journal. So that's coming up. If you're not interested in bullet journaling, that's fine. We can part ways here, no problem. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are having a better January than I had. I don't want anyone to go through the kind of pain I'm going through. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good beginning of the year and that you're staying warm wherever you are. And yeah, see you guys next time.